Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with veteran jazz guitarist Danny Embrey. We caught up with this Kansas City legend about his latest 2023 album live in the Orion Room at the great Green Lady Lounge. He has been a staple of this rousing Kansas City jazz institution for a long time. He opened up about this album, his legacy, and so much more. Dig this interview.
Well, hey, man, thank you for getting back with me. I really appreciate it. I've really enjoyed the Orion Room CD, and I just wanted to catch up with you and just kind of get your thoughts on the album and just kind of what's going on in general. So thanks for taking a minute out today.
Well, it's a trio that I've been playing with consistent personnel, for about 3 years down there now. And, we've done it enough where we're getting pretty tight musically, and personally too, for that matter. And John Scott, who I'm sure you're aware of, who owns or runs the Green Lady Lounge, has been doing some live recordings of some of the groups that have been pretty established. And so he wanted to do one of us on a gig. It's a live thing, so that's what we did. We recorded, I believe, January 9th of this year. So that's how this particular record came about, and it's all original music by all of us in the band.
And you've been playing at the Green Lady for quite a while. You've had a long relationship with John.
In various capacities. Heck, I've been there 5 or 6 years, I guess now. If it's been there that long, I think it has. Quite a while. Yeah,
it certainly has. And the thing about you is that you've been around for such a long time. How special is the Green Lady? I know it's kind of a flagship for us. How special is this venue for you?
It's been a great venue to have in Kansas City for jazz. And there's not a lot of places, of course, in any city really to play our music, and often they're short-lived if a place does start a jazz program. So this place has been there a long time. So it's, before the Green Lady, I suppose a place that would have been similar was Jardine's, if you recall Jardine's Jazz Club. And, but they've been closed for probably 8 or 9 years. So it's nice to have this place. And that's, and it's run very well. John Scott does a great job, running the place and keeping things moving along smoothly. And there's multiple bands every night. There's about 2 bands every night, and we're talking, 7 nights a week. So it's really good. Not all the patrons or jazz fans are listening because it's a very popular retro type jazz bar, and so sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge. But there's still a lot of fans that come in there, and so it's been good. It's been really good.
Well, and for you too, and for the jazz community being away from live music for so long, how does it feel to have an album that represents you live and to just be back at it, because there was such a lull there for a while?
Oh yeah, it's good to have something down. I'm self-critical like most of us are, and listen to it back. It's a live thing. It's nothing that it's not like a studio recording where you can go in and fix and polish every note, So, but in that regard, it makes stuff extra special because since it's live and you're having fun, you might get out of your constraints of safety that you'd have in a studio, and some good things can happen that way. So it's been really fun for me to do, and I haven't had a solo album out in many, many years. I've been on a lot of people's, but not my own. So it was a good opportunity to get something documented musically.
What's next? Is there anything on the horizon for you? Anything, any other live venues or anything, or is it pretty steady with Green Lady and promoting the album?
No, it's for now it's pretty steady. I've made a decision this point in my life. I've been playing professionally for 53 years, And I spent maybe 20 years, to put it all together, on the road, traveling, domestic and international. And I've just got to the point, at my age, I'm slowing down. I consider myself semi-retired now. And so I retired from teaching. I was teaching at 2 universities and part-time, as an adjunct, and also privately. So I kind of retired from that. So I'm not doing a whole lot more out of choice. And I'm not really traveling, although I'm not saying that I wouldn't some again, but it's so difficult these days that I'm just pretty happy being local. And we have enough material. We'll probably put out another CD or 2. So I'm excited about that. And another thing about the Green Lady, since it's all original music, it spurs us on to get back into writing a lot more than just occasionally. So we need more material. So that's a real good thing about what's going on. So that's kind of my plans right now.
Well, and the one thing about you is that you've been around this scene for a long, long time here in Kansas City. How are you feeling about things now that we're picking up in this post-pandemic era? Are you feeling good about the talent that's coming through and how things are picking up?
Absolutely. There's a lot of really fine, good young players that are coming up now, and really good, impressive players. And it's nice to see. It wasn't that long ago that there wasn't a whole lot of new, fresh, young blood coming up. Now there's quite a few. They have a really good program going on at UMKC that's putting out a lot of good students. Bobby Watson started a really first-class program, and he's retired from there now, but Carl Allen is under the leadership. But a lot of good young players, and they're aching to get out and play, kind of like I had the energy when I was their age, and they're working hard, and I hear some of them are playing at the Green Lady, coming in when I'm done to do the late night shift, and so it's pretty good as far as places to play. It's not bad. It could be better, but more places to play than a lot of larger cities than this, So we're pretty fortunate, and there are people that are actually moving here to play because there's more of a scene going on here, and so things are looking really good. But I especially like all the really good young players of every instrument right now coming out.
Well, and you've been a leader of a lot of this movement, momentum that's been happening in Kansas City. And when you look back on your career here, how do you feel? How do you feel about your legacy and how everything's gone in Kansas City?
Well, I feel good about it. I get some respect from my peers and also some of the younger folks that a lot of them were my students. And so I feel real comfortable. So I'm certainly not resting on my laurels. I'm still working really hard to try to get better, like we all do, practicing and, like I said, writing new material. And I don't long for the days of old where I was, trying to be a traveling minstrel and, being at the top of my game at all times, with that drive. So I'm kind of relaxing back a little bit and just using my experience to, do the best I can. And so I have nothing big on the horizon. I think I've been fortunate to do a lot of good things and played a lot of jazz festivals all over the world and traveled a ton globally. And so I feel pretty good and not self-satisfied, but satisfied with the way my musical life has gone.
So, Danny, if anybody wants to pick up this album, I imagine the best place is to just actually go in the Green Lady, see you live, and pick this up.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's available on all the platforms, I suppose, CD Baby. But, you know, a lot of people don't buy CDs anymore. It's, you can stream it, I guess, or, you know, however people do that. So it's widely available. It's, I'm told anyway, although it just came out, if there's a bit of a delay there, it would be very short. So the Green Lady would be a great spot to get it. They have them, and you can just go in and ask a server, and they can take care of it. You don't have to find the musician or anything. They have them there.
Okay, excellent. Danny, it's really great to catch up with you. I've always enjoyed watching you over the years. It's great to see new music out. Thank you so much for taking a minute out for Neon Jazz. I appreciate it.
Sure. Well, thanks a lot, Joe, and I'll see you around.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players and minds in New York, Kansas City, and spots all over the globe, giving fans all that jazz. Thanks to Danny for his time, energy, and cool. If you want to hear more Neon Jazz interviews, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us at YouTube, and for everything Neon Jazz, go to theneonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.